You know, when it comes to good investments, there's none like an investment in the future of children. Danielle Allen met a minister in Smyrna who took that thought to heart. The result is the Flying Aces Club and a bunch of youngsters who happily reach for the sky.
These need to be glued too, though. You don't just screw them on the end. That's good. Good job.
It's a scene that unfolds in this room every Thursday night. It includes a teacher, a dozen students, and a shared love of flying. This group calls themselves the Flying Aces Club of Smyrna, and they build two things: model airplanes and friendships.
Well, it's just a lot of fun to be with our friends and get to fly, because I've brought a lot of friends here and they get to fly and they have a lot of fun and they make new friends with my friends, and so it's just a bunch of fun.
All right, let's just get that one to start with. Okay.
The person piloting all that fun is Tim Lavender.
You getting ready to cut that? Let's see if we can just trim it out. All right, you ready?
He takes kids under his wings and shows them how to make rubber band powered model airplanes, something Tim definitely knows a thing or two about.
I've been doing them all my life, really, the rubber band powered airplanes, right? And I got into radio controlled, and I've got quite a few of the radio controlled airplanes. But really, it's all about what's fun. And I found out, you know, you can spend hundreds of dollars on a radio-controlled airplane and not have as much fun as maybe a $3 airplane that you wind up and fly and watch it fly on its own, you know. So it's pretty interesting just to watch things fly, you know, that you've created.
Not only are these planes interesting to watch, they're also fairly cheap to make, which means there's plenty of supplies to go around.
The reason we're doing the rubber band powered airplanes is it's very inexpensive. A model could be made for $1.50, $2 even. And of course we don't charge the kids anything for being part of the club. And they can be easily built. Most of them have built 3 airplanes so far this year.
You have your scissors, you have your sticks, everything you need to make a model airplane. And while these may seem small, they can have a big impact on children.
It's really not about airplanes, even though it looks like it is. It's about getting to know each other and having a friend, and they've developed friendships even though their ages are different. They help each other no matter how old they are. And so I think they get a lot out of that. But a lot of kids are looking for a place to belong, and I think my club offers that place where they are accepted and belong.
The idea for this club took flight years ago. It came from Tim's desire to reach out to young people and to teach others the joy of flying.
Well, I'm a minister, and I've been preaching about how that we need to use our passions and our talents, you know, for the Lord and so forth. And I got to thinking one day, boy, I have a passion for flying. I wonder if there's any way I could do a ministry, you know, with children, especially in our church, and get connected with them and so on. So I invited a few of them over to the building one day, and in the hallway of the church building, we built some airplanes, and we flew them and had a good time.
They had such a good time, in fact, that the club has now been around for more than 2 decades. Over the years, the group expanded to include children in nearby communities, and it has reached more than 1 generation.
I've had literally hundreds of kids through the program, many of which are now adults and have their own families. And in fact, I have one whose daughter's in my club now, and she was only 13 when she was in the club to begin with.
One of Tim's current students, Jacob, joined the club this year, and he knew right away that this was the place for him.
Tim got me involved. I've been in remote controlled planes since I was about 5 years old, and he came to me over the summer and he said, hey, if you'd like to come into this, we'll gladly do it. And I came in my first week and loved it ever since.
Jacob says he loves flying so much that he's known as the pilot at school. And thanks to Tim, he's learning even more about his passion.
Before I came here, I knew he knew a lot, but ever since I've known him, coming here, it's really showed me how much this man knows. He's very smart and really knows a lot about airplanes.
So where did Tim gain all this knowledge? Well, that's a very easy question for him to answer.
Flying has been in our family forever, it seems like. My dad was an aeronautical engineer, and until he went to the mission field. But he enjoyed building airplanes and flying them, and I was just a kid, and I built airplanes and flew with him as well.
Before he passed, Tim's father spent 27 years building his own experimental plane. Watching him complete that task and working with him on model airplanes taught Tim the importance of never giving up, which is something he also tries to instill in his students.
Hey, that's great, man. That's really flying well. Glad you did it. That looks really good. One thing about it is you've got to be tenacious. You have to keep at it. You can't complete a project just overnight. And back in those days, the glue would take so long to dry that you'd have to work a little bit on it one day and then the next day get up and work again and so on. And if you ever broke one, well, you were down for 2 or 3 days till the ambroid glue dried. But so it took patience and determination to get a project done. And then it was a delight to see something you created fly for the first time. It wouldn't have flown if you hadn't made it.
While building model airplanes is the primary goal of Flying Aces Club of Smyrna, kids often walk away with much more. Weekly meetings allow them to be creative and learn the skills they need to be confident and soar in whatever they do.
Not everybody can be a sports star, and so my viewpoint is if you can build an airplane, bring it up out of the wood, and get that thing together and make it fly, you're a winner. 1, 2, 3, let's let them go, guys.